Alright, welcome, finally, to part 2 of our weekly test show. Just got back from my evening course. Oh my goodness. It wasn't the lecture, it was the lab that took forever. Mainly it was that one lab that I couldn't get part of it to start. So I've decided I'm actually going to push that to tomorrow, but that goes along well with what I said at the beginning of the show, where I said that if there was more to be added on, then either I would start Ticket to Ride on Thursday, which is tomorrow, or if that's not possible because of how much college work I have left, then I would push the start date to Friday, which now looks like that is going to be the possibility. And after the class finished, I finally saw the reason why DC decided not to test today. It was because there was a possibility of severe weather later in the day. They could have done it in the morning, but they decided not to. But whatever. Alright, I have yet to have my popcorn, so I will take a moment and do that here in just a bit. But before that happens, we need to put in everything from earlier. Alright, first question. Oh my god, that's a lot. And Coco still ran a weekly, despite it being a monthly week. Wow. Okay. And why in Indiana you tested already today? You don't need to test again. Plain and simple. Anyway, let's see where the Tampa weekly is. And then we're gonna go ahead and do what we have been doing, as you know. And I believe I spotted it. It is right here at the very end. So, right there. Alright. Well, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to copy and paste each item one at a time into here, and we'll just play it all at once. Next entry is this. A second Indiana IPOS test, which is not necessary because they already did one earlier today. Oh yeah, there's the Max Audio Pro folder because toward the end of part 1 we were troubleshooting some issues with regarding audio. Make sure. But that's a different one, isn't it? Citizens of Indiana. Yeah, that's another one, but with a different message. Alright, I am going to keep the downloads window open because we're going to need it again. Norfolk, nope, we don't need that. Roanoke should be in there. Alright, hopefully it ended up starting in time. Okay, I can't even tell where it is at. Let's see. Let me just fast forward through it. Let's fast forward through it and see if we can locate it. Okay, that's most likely going to be somewhere at the very beginning. Because it ran for a whole hour, so... Okay, let me open up StreamWriter again. Let me pull up StreamWriter again and see where it... when did it start? That's the question. We'll find it. Where's it at? WXL 60, here we go. Setup schedule. 5:25 to 7, so we'll have to scroll through the first 35 minutes, and that is where it will be. So the first 35 minutes, and the test will be right there, because it says it was issued at 5:51. And it was sent at 5:54. So this is 555. Okay, that's way too far. So 25 minutes is 50. Here it is. Found it. Alright, and then this is the start of it. Yeah, and then this is the beginning of that. So we're just going to let this entire Audacity document play. You know, I'll go back on the first things manually, and then, you know, then I'll just let this, then I'll just let the Audacity document play the rest of the way. And then Paducah, which actually we will need to download because I did not configure it. So, so back here to the downloads folder. No, not the documents folder. Here we go. This is Paducah. So it's going to go right there. Where's the start of it? Yep, here's the beginning of it. Split clip. And we'll move that up to the very top, trim the end of it. And then the next thing is Mobile, which should be right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and amplify it because it is so damn quiet. So amplify. Okay, that's enough. All right, the test should end up somewhere at the beginning. It should end up at the beginning somewhere of the file. Or did it save it as KC611? Because it happened at 6:10. Okay, so if it happened at 6:10, then how long did it run for? Okay, so it ran for a whole hour, so it will actually show up in the first. So it'll show up within the first. It'll show up within the first 10 minutes. So let's scroll to that. Yep, here it is. Okay, yep, here's the beginning of it. And folks, if we have to delay, you know, if we have to delay the catch-up process until after we play Yahtzee and whatnot, then we most certainly will. But I would really like to get this done tonight. And then there's QAH right there. And then, of course, all the other stuff, we know the order in which they go. So, oh yeah, and then severe weather stuff I'm going to throw in. But, of course, as you know, I'm going to play everything one at a time through here. All right. So, here's KC55. Let's find the start of it. This is the only file it's saved. Yep, here's the beginning of it. So split the clip. Split. At least they remembered to test this time, unlike last week, where for some reason, even though they actually already did their morning test, they still decided to do another test in the morning. I don't know why, but okay. All right, so here it is. Here's KC56, and it looks like I've spotted it already. And to make this simpler, I'm just going to copy it and then just go right up here and paste it right then and there. And then over to the back, we'll trim that off, making sure that I'm going in the correct order. And this is, when did KC56 usually go? So it's actually KWN31 that goes first, which is what I just downloaded here. This should be, this 0034, this should be KWN 31. Yep, there we go. So we'll move that right up to the top. Trim this part off. We'll see how long this audio file goes out, and we'll have to allocate as much time as we need to actually do it. Here is the end of it. And then we'll put KC56 right in its place. And then I know Corsicana is coming next. Oh, I see they've actually been issuing stuff for quite a while. Well, of course, I will do all the trimming and, you know, when we go through all of this later. But let's focus on the NWS tests first. And then, actually, you know what? I was just thinking of something else. Here's what we're going to do instead. I'm just going to let the NWS tests play, and then I will play the severe weather stuff one by one after that. Or, you know what? We can go forward with the original plan. I think that's better. Probably a better idea, because that would save my sanity furthermore. Alright, next, Corsicana, which for some reason my logger will not even log. It did log a watch from there once, but it has not logged a single weekly off of here. And here is the start of it. And I'm going to put that right after KC. Okay, and then here's the end of it. All right, next up is Palestine, which actually worked. And I should say Palestine, Texas. Not to be confused with the country. All right, now, in all this mess, we got to find the start of it. Okay, here's the end. Okay, here's the end of it. Okay. We'll copy that text. We'll paste it up here. It's still in green, even though I put it in blue. I'm guessing some of the other color changes will carry over the course of time. All right, and then lastly for Fort Worth, this is Waco. Then I gotta see how long this file will actually go on for. And if we have to stop midway, we will. Because I know Brandon would like to get Deal or No Deal done tonight, so we'll go ahead, you know, we'll pause so we can do that. We'll finish the catch-up process, and then, of course, you know, we'll get on with everything else that we have planned for tonight. You know, the eBay scavenger hunt and all that stuff. All right, now to add more things. In this order, this is the end of the attention signal. This is the end of the beginning, in the words of the yellow sorry pawn, of the Lawton test, or Norman, I should say. And then Topeka will follow. And then Topeka will follow. Right then and there we go. Find the beginning of it. If it ever went, there it is. Here's the start of it. Here's the end of it. And since we already have another clip right there at our disposal, we'll just go ahead and drag it right there and delete this. Okay, and then the last of them is Des Moines, and we'll just go ahead and... Which one's the start of it? Oh, wow. Alright, so this is the entire test message from NWS Des Moines. Where does the file currently stand? Currently stands about 15 minutes. Okay, so now that we got all of that, we're going to go ahead and download the rest of the files. well, mainly the severe weather stuff, and we are going to put them all in one at a time. So this is DC. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not getting any duplicates. So 819, that's the same thing. This is 823, 823, 823, 838. And then this marine warning, that's the same thing. 850, and then 905. And is that it? 905. Oh my god, that's a lot of duplicates. And then that one, and that's the latest one. Okay, so then we'll save all of these. And the way the script saves all of this stuff, remember, is it's all saved in UTC. So I got to remember UTC Central Time Conversion. So I got to remember which products go in which order. But I can actually also use the guide, you know, the way my logger saved everything to, you know, sort of guide me along as to which files I should save, like 0108 and so on. So, yeah, so it looks like everything is already labeled in order. So here's 0108, and then 0139, then 0156. Okay, and then 0219, then 0223. Ah, my goodness. And then it looks like it's all in order. 10025. 219, 23. Which one is 25? 0238. 31025. Is 310025. 00253. Okay, 253. Okay, now I'm seeing it. It's just that. Okay, so there we go. Now we're on. And then 238. 38. And then 250. And this one here. And then 3-4, and then this one, and then this one. All right. So that is everything. Okay. Now we drag each and every one of these to their final positions on the timeline. So we drag all these files now to their final places. And all that's left to do is trim out any attention signals that may have been left behind. I see a few of them were saved as MNET, so I'm going to need to find replacements for them. If I can't find a replacement, then I'll just have to accept it as it is, like I am going to in this case. Here's the start of this one. And then here's the beginning of the next one.
The National Weather Service in Sterling.
Then this is the end of this one and the beginning of the next one.
The National Weather Service in Mount Holly, New Jersey has issued a severe thunderstorm.
Okay, and then we trim this down here.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
And then this one right here.
Building. The National Weather.
Okay, so that's gonna bring. Okay, what's this one?
County, Cecil County, Harford County.
Okay, 250.
Do we have a better version of that one? 0253, 0250. That one is Mnet. Yeah, it seems like that's what Baltimore stations like to do. They like to do all Mnet for some reason, but can't blame them.
In Mount Holly, New Jersey has...
All right, and then we will just grab the... make sure... Is that the last of it, or is there more? There's a lot more.
Winds and high waves are expected.
And of course, I'm trying to simplify it all as much as possible. All right, and then trim that down. All right, and then we're down to the final two. We're down to the last two products. Jesus fucking Christ, he won't even give me a break.
Issued a required weekly test for all of Indiana.
Okay, alright, that is out of place. 2350, that is completely out of place. Oh, these were from earlier. I don't know why those are there, but okay, there we go. And what's the last thing? Okay. Alright, we have everything. We are ready to start. Alright, so I'll go ahead and connect the tablet now to the PC, close that, minimize this, and I'll go ahead and close the downloads folder. I'll put Discord on the side of the screen, because we will be getting to it, later after I take care of whatever the fuck my father wants with me. And we will actually begin with that Beltrami test right there, and I'll expand this further. Alright. Now we scroll to the beginning, and we start with Tampa. And then we'll just let it all play as we go. So, and I'll actually just resize this so... Oh, we can fit it all. Okay. Finally, do we have sound? We do not, but let's... Alright, now we do. Okay. Begin.
near
Alright, I've let the recording go for about 20 minutes.
55 miles per hour.
I did see a new Marine warning come out too. So we got about 5 more minutes here before Deal or No Deal starts. Okay. So this is actually going to be the last alert we will have time for right now. So here's what we're going to do. Whatever we did not do, we're going to throw those into VLC, and that's going to be part of the next catch-up process that we will do when the Verizon start. That will be the last part of it. Like I said, this is going to be the last thing we will do because we only have 2 minutes left before Deal or No Deal. Yeah, my plans were kind of thrown off tonight because of how long that lab was, and it took me forever to figure out, how to get started. But mainly it was one of the other assignments too.
Alright, so 253, that's where we stopped. We're going to continue from there. I'm just going to go ahead and throw everything in here. I want to make sure that these aren't MNET. That's the full thing. Yeah, I want to make sure that what I'm adding in here is absolutely authentic. Authentic and 100%, from NWR. Did it do this one earlier or not? 253. Well, everything's kind of out of place here. So actually it's going to be 250 that will actually start it. All right. So we'll go ahead now and delete everything. Oh, that's right. Close the virtual machine because we were trying to troubleshoot the issue with the audio driver earlier in part 1. So I'll go ahead and start up the Windows 7 VM now. And I'll go over to the OBS folder and throw away everything. In the downloads folder, all of this stuff too, including the assets that were used for the WLIT flip. And then I'll go ahead and change over to the group. Where's it at? Here it is. All right, and I will keep track of the clock on the other system. All right, before we start it, here is how we are going to play this out tonight because of how long that lecture and that class session took. So, we're going to start Deal or No Deal here in the next few moments. And then immediately after, we're of course going to do the letters from the Name it and Claim it word game that we were going to get to. We'll then play our 2 games of Yahtzee, and then when we get to the 11 o'clock hour, that is when we'll play the rest of the catch-up. The rest of the catch-up process. And then when that's done, we'll then move on to that eBay scavenger hunt and whatever. So let's see if either of them are ready. Got one just in the nick of time. And yep, that's the normal pack now. The Halloween stuff is over.
That was weird. It's like it kept ringing as soon as I reset the password of my device. That was weird.
Well, as soon as he tried to get in. All right, we'll wait and see where Brandon is. We'll give him 5 minutes, and if we don't, we'll give him 5 minutes. If we don't hear from him, then he must be busy with something tonight. Yeah, then he probably might be busy with stuff this evening.
I gotta go for a second. I'll be back. I'm not gonna disconnect, but I gotta go for a second. I'll be right back.
That's all right. Yeah, because we're gonna give Brandon about 5 minutes, and if he'll join us, and if so, then great. If not, then that's fine. But all right. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay. So while we wait, let's go ahead and give you all a little bit of
sort of a breakdown as to exactly what happened, so far, for those of you who may have missed it. Chicago, and this I think is the first time I've ever seen them do this, they decided to test an hour early. An hour earlier than what they normally do, because normally they do it at 11:07. They decided to do it at 10:07 this time. I guess somebody might have been confused by the time change or something. I don't know. I was saying that NWS Chicago tested an hour early today for some reason. Denver, on the other hand, actually ended up testing a whopping 2 hours late. Because they were supposed to go with the 12 noon hour. And they went at 2:15. And then as for DC, Green Bay, San Francisco, Reno, and Seattle, all 5 did not test at all.
Jeez.
Well, I would say Green Bay technically did, but because of the Wisconsin Monthly earlier this morning, so maybe they decided to finally count the monthly as their weekly for the week. I don't know. But I'll keep them going tomorrow just in case. Maybe they were just having some technical problems or something. But that was a bit of a highlight. And then, of course, a very fast Monopoly game that we had earlier. The Deluxe Puzzles and then, of course, Hyperbole. And then also earlier, I showcased those Alan Becker stick figures, a fan-made desktop pet project that was created last year. And when we finish Deal or No Deal here, then that's when we'll bring them back, and we'll have them going for the rest of the time. But maybe not when we're doing the catch-up process here, which we had to stop because we wouldn't be able to finish the whole thing in time before the start of before what we're about to do here. But anyway, now that all that stress and pain from that evening class tonight is behind me, and now that I got to see the next part of the competitions of both the floor and 99 to beat, now I can finally put all that aside and save that for tomorrow. Alright, so we'll go ahead and ring Brandon one more time. And I'll go.
If he's coming or not.
Yeah, we're gonna try him one more time. If he does not, then it will be the Lembine. Then it will just be me and the Lembine tonight.
I guess so.
So.
I should be playing my music with my headphones, but I can't do that for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, he must be busy with something this evening. That's alright. But at least we have a person to play, so let's not hold this any longer. Make sure I got the audio up. Must have reset. There we go. Alright. Let's begin.
Hello and welcome to Deal or No Deal. I'm Howie Mandel.
You might as well screen share it before you start so that way they can see it.
In order to do
I
that,
forgot to do that. Yeah, record the game so I can screen share the VM. I forgot to do that.
There we go.
Quite a hurry. Alright.
You are, aren't we?
Readjust volume 2. There we are. Alright. Let's go.
hello and welcome to Deal or No Deal. I'm Howie
You
Mandel.
can choose personality,
This
that's
evening, You
funny.
can walk away with a huge cash prize. In order to do that,
That's
you
funny.
have to be lucky, gutsy, and have a great sense of timing. Now I think it's time I introduce you to my better half. Actually, 26 of my better half. Ladies,
please.
Yes. What color is it today? White again? I guess that means good luck, maybe, or maybe not. I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll see, because last week Brandon won the million.
We don't know what is in
Yeah,
each
he
of
does.
these 26 cases. We do know that the biggest prize amount in one of these cases is $1 million. $1
million.
million
Not
all
11
the way
million.
down to
Not
1 penny.
50 million.
Those are the different amounts, and each
Not
case
31
holds one of
million.
those amounts.
Just 1 million.
Yes. Case time is going to be number 11.
My lucky number.
Okay, very well. Now this is
Well,
Oh,
let's see.
yes.
unless you should decide to sell it. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Find out what's in your case?
Alright, the
So does
first case of
everyone.
choice
We
is
start by opening those cases. Whatever we find in those cases
16.
is obviously not in your case.
All right.
Let's begin.
Yep. We're
For
gonna
the
pick
number
16.
16, that's Tori. No huge amounts,
Before Howie
please.
even finished his line. And $1,000.
$1,000 gone, still a fairly low amount.
Hmm.
You still have 5 more cases to open before the next offer.
3.
All right. Let's see what's in number 3.
Number 3, that's Shannon.
25 grand.
That's all right.
Well,
Still
no.
okay. Pick 4 more cases before the next offer.
18.
18. All right.
Number 18, come on, let's see the penny.
3/4 of a million.
$750,000 off the board. $750,000
Yeah, that just turned out to be bad over in
out of
there.
play and not in your case. 3 more cases to go.
8.
All right.
Number 8, that's Jamie.
Let's see what number 8 has. $400.
$400 off the board. $400
There we go.
not in your case. Pick 2 more cases before the next offer.
10?
All right. Let's see.
Number 10, come on, give us some good news.
Yeah, hopefully some good news. 75.
$75,000. Whoa.
Oh my
Off the
god.
board. Hopefully that won't hurt you too much. Just 1 more case to go.
Open this round.
7?
Yep, that's be the last.
Number
case.
7.
I probably won't be so lucky.
500.
Or maybe though.
$500 off the board. $500
Yay.
off your case. Okay, the first round is over. You've picked 6 cases,
Yep,
and
picked
now it's
6
time for
cases,
the banker to
and
make you an
now
offer.
It's time
He's not
to
your
talk
friend.
to Banker
He
Una.
doesn't want you to win. He is
He's
reading your
very
every move, and he
relieved.
wants you out of here as soon as possible, with as little money as possible.
That I get to.
And there
spend
you
the
go.
Yeah,
rest
that
of my
probably
night.
won't be a good one this time.
Yep,
Hmm.
gets to. He's relieved that I get to spend the rest of my night
Okay.
the way I want to.
This is a very fair offer,
What?
but it is very early.
Yeah, I had
The
a
offer
pretty
is
long evening class.
$16,000.
Oh.
So let me.
16th? Ah, that's not that bad for a first start. Okay, no deal.
Wow, you have passed. No deal. Now for round 2.
24?
24.
Number 24, that's
All right,
Janine.
in
No.
24. $50.
$50
Nice.
off the board. $50, not in your case.
Another low.
Nice.
You still have 4 more cases to open before
20.
the next offer.
Number 20.
Number 20, that's Nina.
What do we got? 50 grand.
$50,000 off.
All right, we're in the middle,
Not
but
in your case. All right, 3 more to open. Pick a number.
wow, 17.
17.
Number 17. Please show us a low number.
10,000.
$10,000. Not bad.
Well, I guess the big amounts are staying on the board, but this is not
Still
on what I
more
want
cases
still.
to go.
The other big amounts in play.
22?
Yeah, but furthermore, we need to be on
Number
the
22.
left-hand
That's
side.
Alexis. Come on, give us some
Yeah.
We
good news.
eliminated 3 of them so far. There we go, $25.
Good, that's great. $25
Yay.
is not in your case. Pick 1 more case before the next offer.
Alright, 23. Let's just, yeah.
Number
Yeah,
23.
23,
Let
let's
it
hope
be a
for-
small
I don't know what
amount.
this is gonna be
Let's
though.
hope for something low. And that's the $1 million
worst
case, unfortunately.
$1 million. $1 million.
You know what's funny? I was looking at the $1 million
Sorry to
value
say,
and I expected
it's
it
not
to
in
kind
your
of be
case.
that.
You were
Okay.
expecting it.
That
yeah.
did not go great. Let's see what the banker is willing to
Kind of
pay.
expected it to be that, so we'll just go with what we got.
Yep.
Hello,
So now
Mr.
the
Banker.
top amount is $500,000.
Okay. I'll let them know.
See.
This, I think, is a decent
Oh,
amount
Lord.
of money.
Well, let's see what happened to
The offer is
It's gonna go down.
$40,000. It actually
Think
still
about
went
that.
up.
No deal.
And again, it's those
No
five
deal, Baker.
finger amounts that are still in play.
Yeah.
Causing the offers to continue to increase.
I'm now
15.
Of course, that will continue happening.
number 15.
As long as they remain there. There goes
Oh,
the
no.
$100,000.
That'll hurt.
Oh my god.
You have 3 more cases to open. Pick a case.
6.
Number 6.
Yeah,
See what
we're
6
looking
says.
6 because we know the million's not there. Oh, another.
Oh my god.
That is not good.
Yeah,
Pick
3
2 more
large amounts
cases
in a
before
row,
the
that
next
is
offer.
Definitely
26.
good. Yeah, that's
Number
another
26.
common number.
Let's see
where
a
the
penny.
million has been at. Did we find
It's a
a
regular
penny?
fucking game.
Half a million. Oh my
4 large
goodness.
amounts in a row. This is hurting you.
That's not good.
Yeah,
This is absolutely
All right.
awful.
1 more
very
to open.
unlucky tonight.
Pick
here.
a number.
21. Let's just see if it continues to
Number
get
21,
unlucky.
That's Blair.
Oh. $5.
$5. That's great. Get that off the board.
Well, I think even
Yeah.
that little amount,
Whoa, this is not the
damage
way
has
you
pretty
wanted
much
it to
been
go.
done.
You want to stay in there.
Yeah, that's been done
damage
alright,
is
isn't it?
because the damage has already been done. Yeah, now we're down to just 2 big amounts.
Hello, banker.
Yeah, we lost a lot of them. We went
Okay,
like 4
I'll tell.
large amounts in a row. Yeah, that is definitely not good.
Yeah.
This, I think, is a decent amount of money.
Well, let's see
Maybe
what
my
Banker
strategy
has
isn't
Offer
working.
is $20,000.
$20,000. It got cut
Hello?
in half.
No deal. Let's just see what we can do.
Yeah, see what we can do with what's left on the board.
5.
You need to open
Randy.
His
number
least favorite
5.
driver.
That's Nadia. Come on, let's see the penny.
Yes, let's see the penny. One.
Oh my god! Whoa!
Coming
What
back.
is going on here?
Oh,
2 more cases to go.
on thin ice now.
1. See what 1 does.
Okay.
If that
One,
is 300,000. Okay, good.
That's good. $100 off the board. $100.
You just said
off your case.
$300,000.
You still have 1 more case to
$300,000.
open
Okay,
before the next
9.
offer.
So yeah,
Number
Brandon's
9.
favorite.
Show us something good.
300,000 is the landmine. We want to avoid it at all costs.
$75 off the board. $75.
That's better.
Not in your case.
So steer away from 300,000.
So you know that that's the banker, and it's his
Rest
job to
of
buy
the
back
way.
your case. So
We want to end up
he's
winning.
about to
Yeah.
make you an offer.
If we want to end up winning a whole lot of money,
Hello,
Yeah, that's
Mr.
not
Banker.
good. This is absolutely ridiculous.
it is the
Okay.
way this game's currently going.
I'll let them know. This, I think, is a
In fact,
decent
I
amount of
don't
money.
think we may
And he's
reach
offering
6
you
figures until the very end.
$26,000.
No, we're not actually. We're not reaching it at all.
Yeah. Because I have a good feeling.
No
it's
deal.
100,000.
Still no deal, Baker.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying six figures at the end. That's if
Board is
300,000 is to remain on the board by the last offer.
Yeah. 19.
I think
$300,000.
it's a little
Number
unlikely,
19.
But let's see how it plays out.
3
$200.
small amounts in a row.
Oh, that's good.
And now we're starting to take
Mm.
around,
Pick 1 more case
Yeah.
before the next offer.
2.
but yeah, it's not
Number
gonna
2.
be as
That's
good
Chandra.
as-
Let's see a penny.
Yeah.
Yes,
Let's
see
just
that
see.
penny. Look at the penny,
4
$7.50.
small amounts in a row.
Take
You are
7.
Show me that one.
I think
Oh my
you're
God.
making the banker nervous. That was a great round. Let's see what he's got to say.
They should put a dime in there for 0.1.
Hello, Mr. Banker.
They could have put a
10 cents.
Right.
Yeah, they could have put
Okay.
a dime there.
I'll let
but
them know. This, I
But
think, is a
that's-
decent amount of
Okay.
money.
That's the best they can do.
The banker wants to
That's how
know
they
if
want
you
Yeah.
You
leave
don't
now
do game.
for
But anyway,
$38,000.
$38,000 is
The
the,
mo-
next offer.
No deal.
Absolutely not.
No deal.
Alright, 1 case to open now per round.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Only
Oh my god. 14.
number 14.
Let's see what
Let
happens.
it be a
Oh,
small
dick.
amount.
We're still looking for
Not
that
lucky at
penny.
all, isn't it?
$5 small amounts in a row.
There we
That's
go.
expensive.
Well,
great round. That was a great
Yes, that
round.
was a
You have it
great round.
exactly where you want them.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
still
we
one.
are in a, well, I'd say we're in a decent position, but
Hello, Mr. Banker.
yeah,
Well, let's
pretty-
see if we are or not.
Okay. I'll let them know.
Don't know.
This, I think, is a decent amount of money.
No.
The offer is $48,000.
$48,000 now.
So here's the.
No deal.
Wow, you have no deal. Only 5.
25. I hope that's not the
25, that's
$300,000 case.
No huge
If
amount.
it's not,
please.
if it is,
Let's
I'm
find
gonna
out.
freak the heck out and just say no.
5,000.
6 small.
Okay,
amounts in a row.
so that
This
wasn't
is
the case.
fantastic.
Good.
It is fantastic.
Good round. Good round. Let's see how much it helps.
But I have a feeling we could end up with the worst case scenario of the last two
Hello?
cases in play being the penny and
Okay.
$1,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell him.
which we actually had happen.
The offer went up,
Once.
and this is a very nice amount. Of
Yeah.
money. And he's offering you $65,000.
$5,000.
The mo-
No deal.
Absolutely not.
No deal, Baker.
And then 4.
Okay, number 4.
God.
That's Kayla.
Yep, let's do number 4.
Mail.
There's the $1.
7 small amounts in a row. How long?
Well, that's a
can
good
this streak
sign.
last?
We got a streak of low
Excellent.
amounts.
Excellent.
That's
That was
what
an
we
incredible
should have
round,
had
and there's a
earlier.
lot of money up there.
We
Let's
should
see.
have had
Yeah.
a streak of small amounts earlier,
Yeah.
but of course it's with the
Hello?
way we're picking the cases
Hmm.
and all that
Okay.
that ultimately decide this
This
game.
is a very nice offer.
Root means squares.
The
Such a
offer
complex
is-
formula.
$90,000.
$90,000.
So here's the.
We're almost there.
Yep.
No deal.
Wow.
Alright,
You have
so
no deal.
It all comes down to the most unlucky cases, 12 and 13. Let's select 12 first.
Number 12.
yep,
That's
let's do
Ann.
12.
See how lucky it even gets.
$10.
8 small amounts in a row.
Oh
Amazing
my
result.
gosh.
But at the same
Holy
time,
I
crap.
think
We have
you're
the
making the
pesky
banker
penny
nervous. That was a great
still on
round.
the board.
Let's see what he's got to say.
Well,
and this last offer, I believe,
Hello, Mr.
will
Banker.
finally be 6 figures.
Right.
yeah.
Okay. I'll let
Oh
them know.
my god. I'm just gonna. Well,
Okay. We're into the 6 figures now.
Yep, we're
You
finally
need
into
to think
6
this through.
figures. At
Banker
last,
Yeah.
wants to know if you will leave now.
what is it?
it is
200
$140,000. Think about
Not bad, but no deal. Let's keep
No
the
deal,
case
Baker.
and see what
Alright.
happens if I made a good
Case.
deal or not. Let's see how bad I did. How bad of a
Wow.
decision I made with the keep the
played the
case.
game with a lot of guts. You have a 50-50 shot.
I don't think
at
it's going to
walking
even
away
be
with a huge
that.
prize,
Let's see.
Or walking away
Let's
with a penny.
see.
Before we open your case,
Keep
I'm
the
going to give you
case.
the opportunity to switch your case with the one remaining up there.
Alright, and he said he wants to keep it, so let's
Open
see.
your case and let's see how you did.
That's not good.
Looks like you
300
made
grand.
a great deal.
Yay. Still got it.
Great, I was about to get ready to get the pesky penny out to show the whole world. Yeah, I was gonna.
YLK time.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
go and pull out the pesky penny.
hmm
Anyway, now that
I still made it.
Yep, you still made it through. But anyway, now
I'm a quick player, which
time for
didn't
another
so
one of my
quickly.
favorite parts, which is to go through the letters
Oh no.
in this week's Name It and Claim It word game. So let's see what kind of.
All right, I'm gonna get going. Planful. I'll see you later. Bye bye.
Yeah, I hear. I definitely hear how tired he is. So yeah, he's definitely tired.
Well, I'm also kind of depressed too, but I'm fine. I'll see you later. Bye bye.
That's all right. So yeah, he kind of sounded depressed there, but I understand. I mean, he's had a rough day, and I've had a rough day too. So both of us felt sort of the same, but it's all right. But at least we made the most of it. But yeah, I'm kind of depressed too that we were planning on getting this earlier. Why is the green stick figure trying to swing from the bottom of the notepad window? instead of the very top. Why is that? I don't know. But anyway, and Minnesota was supposed to do their monthly earlier, and North Dakota was supposed to do their monthly earlier too. For some reason they didn't. I don't know why. But all right. Yeah. So I was thinking I'll probably do some more audio file troubleshooting because of how long that AWS lab was. So I guess then the new plan for tomorrow is I'll focus on getting that taken care of. Like I'll take care of that first, and then when it is done, probably after my lunch break, I'll take care of the last of the exams, the quarterly exams, and the last of the discussion questions and everything like that. And I don't know what kind of time I'll have afterward, but I may actually have time to maybe tape the first week or so of Ticket to Ride. So I might have time to film an episode. I shouldn't say an episode, maybe a week. I think the maximum I might be able to get to is just a week worth of episodes. That's probably going to be the farthest that I'll be able to go, and I won't be able to go any further than that for the day because, there's a whole lot of factors, involved, Jeopardy and other evening class, which at least I believe that's finally going to be the grace period for that lab that has been torturing me for like the past 2 weeks. So, because I want to get that fucker submitted, along with the other 2 labs. But at least those 2 should be quite easy tomorrow night, I should say. It should be quite easy. So, that I can get that subnetting crap finally submitted, and then I can finally rest in peace. Or I shouldn't say that. And then I can finally enjoy my Thursday night in peace. But then tomorrow in the morning, I should say, I only did watch 1 of these Scrambled Up episodes. I was going to get to the second one, but my father coming home early had pretty much thrown those plans off. So I'll instead I'll just finish it up. I'll do that tomorrow with that AWS lab that's been causing me. Like, there was like one thing that's supposed to be available, but it hasn't. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the network it's connected to, or I may not be doing it right. I don't know. I don't know exactly. But I mean, we could have gotten to it a lot sooner had I not made that mistake. But I was focused on the main lab first, before going into the escape room thing. I mean, it's always the escape rooms that are added on like immediately following the lecture, but I understand why. But it's all part of the material there. But here, let me bring these stick figures back up here. Okay. Now, also, for those of you who may have missed part 1, we were going to get to this earlier, but of course all those other plans threw me off from it. So, as you can see here, we're going to see what kind of words we can make from the word game before we move on to Yahtzee. We're going to get to Yahtzee in a little bit here, folks, so don't worry. And I'll try to make this as quick as possible. So, one more time, from the word game earlier, the letters were U, S, T, R, A, P, N, and I. I already know one word I can make, but they mentioned to use every letter in your answer. Well, that makes sense. So, let's see. Train up. Train ups. Train sup. Transpuins. And of course, I'll pull up the result in Google Translate too, to see how it translates. Let's type that whole word. Oh yeah, and we're also gonna put the Clipchamp thing together too. We're gonna do that also. So.
Transpuins. Transpuins.
Transpuins. That's a fun word. What else can we try? Wraps. There's no W, but crumble. The sponsor. One of the prizes that were awarded on person, place, or thing that only ran for 2 seasons. Wow, how terrible! I think it was that one woman that pretty much bankrupted their whole budget. So maybe that's why they're never going to return it all, ever. As she says, Melissa said there would be a season 3, and ultimately that apparently is never going to happen. Maybe they could just be taking a hiatus, or maybe they discontinued it. I'll have to do some research on the show to actually confirm what may have ended up happening with it. But I did see a certificate, I did see a certificate has not been renewed error, so I think that tells me maybe the show is, I think maybe the show might be done for. At least that's what I think. Alright, what else can we try? Subtrain. Okay.
Subtrain.
Did you mean super train? No, I did not mean that. That's what I intended on saying. What else? Partsuin.
Partsween.
Partsween. That's a great word. What else could we try? Partsuin. Oh, wait, we already have that. Nius.
Partneus.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I can think of for now. Yeah, my plans have really been thrown off course today. But anyway, I'll go ahead and switch out the CD with Sorry. Yeah, as I forgot to do this the last few times. But, as I did mention earlier in the week, we will be able to do our Friday Fun Night show as usual. This Friday night, which of course I am looking forward to, and we will be able to do the random character extravaganza as well as a result. So that I'm looking forward to as well. In fact, I've been watching, as of course, we did some snippets from previous random character madnesses, such as the 5 9s, 7 7s, and what was the other one that we did? That we tried to... Oh yeah, the one from 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since we last did one, but yeah. The other plans had kind of thrown it off course, but I mean, we were planning on it. We were planning on those plans being thrown off the rails anyway, so. But anyway, we'll let those stick figures entertain us as well while we go ahead and play 2 rounds of Yahtzee. We'll let them just watch the game as well. It's kind of weird just seeing those stick figures roam around the screen. Yeah, I find the game kind of quiet. Go ahead and play against the computer. Let's just admire the theme song here, because this will be what you hear at the end of the Yahtzee show when we start taping episodes of it next month. But we gotta get through Ticket to Ride first. But of course we gotta get through Ticket to Ride first things first. Alright, there we go. And I kind of did a test run too of a few other shows as well. I'll go and mark the chance off right away. So yeah, even before the escape route was even assigned, triggered up. And it must have triggered Apple Intelligence by mistake. No, it's not gonna work. Let's mark down the 5. But yeah, I kind of did play around with a bit of the Flashpoint games, and I did find out. I did actually find a proper full version of the Classic Concentration software, but I was thinking of something else too. And I was also thinking about maybe bringing Whammy to the lineup. I was like, it's, let's see, what was it called? Is it called Whammy Tournament Mode or something? Well, it's not like where you play with computer opponents. Which reminds me, maybe we could, once I can get Big John's Pressure Luck figured out, because I've actually had quite a lot of issues with that game. Quite a lot of problems with that game in particular. Maybe we can turn it into a series at some point in the future. You know, as like a companion to Big John's Wheel of Fortune. So, but currently I've got Ticket to Ride and Yahtzee in the plan. So maybe Pressure Luck could become the official replacement for 5th grader once that show concludes. I have the 4 of a kind again. So I'll just take 3 of a kind. But yeah. So I'm kind of adding concentration back to the lineup. But of course I will do some more testing with some of the games, as I did find the concentration software, the one that I actually wanted to use initially. I did play around with a few more of the Flash games, like not only the Whammy thing, but also the Card Sharks money cards. That could actually also become a show here on the channel at some point in the future. So Card Sharks money cards, that's one game that's under consideration currently. yeah, that, whammy, pressured luck. If I want to get pressured luck figured out, well, right now I just brought it up, so of course I don't have it in any sort of immediate, any plan of it in the foreseeable future, as of the moment. And missed out on the Yahtzee again. But it's alright. Yeah, it's alright. Because I want to get these next few shows completed. Because like I said, we still have plans, for the spring. I've already planned out the other 2 shows. So maybe when we get to fall, 2026, when I tape the last of the season, when I tape the last episodes of season 2, and what will probably be its last season of 5th grader. There is a good reason why I am declaring season 2 as the final season, and as I've already mentioned many times so far already since we completed, since we taped the last of season 1, the last of the very first season. Come on, 3. 3. There we go. There we go. So yeah. Of course, the biggest reason of all is repeat questions showing up in the original software. There are only 2 official PC releases of 5th grader, and that's probably another reason why we're not making any more episodes, other than, why we're not doing any more episodes with the software following the completion of the series, following the conclusion of the series. Well, not the conclusion of the series, but rather the conclusion of the season. So season 1 is now set to go through May, and it's going to be June when I premiere another. It's going to be another one of those limited run shows. So I was thinking maybe some of those other shows could actually be a great replacement for the Bowling Train, because I am kind of starting to run out of ideas of layout design, and also not getting too many, and also because the train equipment that we have is kind of starting to fall apart. So maybe I might want to get my hands on some more HO scale editions if I want to continue making episodes of the show. But we're going to go for Yahtzee here. As each and every single one of them cross off their final numbers on their card. Alright. Let me go do something really quickly here before we start the next game. Alright, thank you all for bearing with me. Let's continue and start the next game. Game number 2 of Yahtzee. The last game. Okay, let's go first here again. Nice, right out of the gate. Alright, we'll take small straight. There we go, got the large straight as well. That's 32. That's most likely going to be TOP. There's the full house. Oh wow, got a commanding lead already. Off the sixes now. Let's try to go for a 4 of a kind here. I'll go with the 4s instead. That'll give me the higher score. Okay, got 3 of a kind. And of course I will change the name, the profile name prior to taping, you know, to accommodate for the new name. So it's a chance here, because that'll give me, that again will give me the higher score. The threes. course, the 4 of a kind. Although I could have waited for a higher score, but oh well. Let's go for the ones that I don't have enough room to put it in. There we go, 2. Wow. Crossing off Yahtzee. Not even before the last turn. The last move of the game. It's like the stupidest move that I think I've ever seen. In terms of game of Yahtzee. But we've already marked off the 6s, didn't we? So... Alright, so I guess choose our last number to mark off. Ooh, looks like it's close. Couldn't find anything. Got a 2, got another 2, and that's all I can mark off, so. 228 is my score. I think I may have just won this game. Yeah, it's not even gonna be enough. Congratulations, you've achieved a high score. Yeah, I did. Well, that was great. Yeah, we'll do only one game. So yeah, we'll do only one game per episode. Considering how long each have gone. Alright. No, that is not what that was not what I wanted. Let me turn that off. Where is it at? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that off because I find that kind of annoying. Very annoying. Okay. So, now that we're done with that, let's get all these stick figures off the screen and mute the desktop audio again, because now we're going to finish the catch-up process that we started earlier. Oh yeah, and I gotta do that too. Okay. Alright, we will need all of VHO6 and 11 and 14 and 9 for the time being. So, these aren't supposed to be in green. They're supposed to be in blue. Because they're supposed to be in blue like the rest of the things here. Let's try that. And it does not seem to make a difference whatsoever. Let's just try messing around with the colors here. Okay, there we go. And there we are. Now it's back to blue. Just needed to mess around a little bit with some colors, and now I got the proper one. Okay, so next up we are going to finish the catch-up process from earlier. Alright, we got sound going. So, let's go. Okay, that is finally everything. So we're all caught up with that, but we still got more to, go through, right? We still got to put everything together. So, next we are going to put together the Deal or No Deal episode that we did earlier today. Or earlier tonight, I should say. So, we'll go ahead and delete that. And then, actually, since we are done, I guess we can go ahead and bring the stick figures back. Yeah, let's go and bring them back. So, here is our clip from today. What is this one for? Oh, that was the mistake from earlier, so I'll delete all of this plus from last week. There we go. Alright, so now to do some of the necessary trims to the file.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just gonna start it out like this here, so. And then we'll scroll right to the end. And then here's when it fades out. There we go. And we're gonna rename it now to November 5th, 2025. Okay. Alright, so there we go. That Deal or No Deal episode will air on November 5th. Now, before we go any further here, let me pull the Verizons up, because I'm very shocked that all of them, except for 4, decided not to test. That's how shocked I am. Alright, we've hit 11 o'clock. Who will do it? Oh, and WCI. Just a moment ago. Okay. Alright, where's 6-1? Where did 6-1 disappear to? There we go. Yep, and there you go, the stick figures. Let me move them over so that way the stick figures aren't present on the screen when we do what we're about to do here. Here we go. Turn the volume back up because we're done. Okay, now go. Yeah, and earlier, after we ended part 1, I did do some more troubleshooting on the audio problems. So I guess reinstalling the audio driver could be the solution, but I'll give it a try. Anyway, now to go ahead and do what we were going to do. So I guess we'll go ahead and do it now. But what if 9 decides to go early? I've only got these up right now. I don't have 7, 5, or 8 up at the moment. I swear if we don't hear from them tonight, then we are definitely going to be in for one heck of a Friday morning, let me tell you. Every single Verizon is going to test alongside Mountain Ninja Rescue airing.
Lane OR, beginning at 4.
And then that is the Twister. This is... What was this one?
SOS.
Oh, that was the demo. I didn't. I don't think I ever sent over Sheeran Harris. Yeah, I never sent over Sheeran Harris before we left. So. Yeah, I never sent over Sheeran Harris before we went off the air. I want to pull up the first one of all the other ones now. While we can. Oh, 871 doesn't work. There we go. I'll see how we can fit the rest later when we're done here. Oh, wait. Okay, airdrop complete, and it's now present. Should also make sure it's audible. Yeah, should also make sure it's clearly audible. Okay. Well, San Diego actually came before. And this one is WGLS, which happened at 4:23. Now that test from San Antonio, Texas, I was going to go back on that later on as well, but we ran out. As I said, we ran out of time. You know, before we could go back on, before we could. So, this is the power plant test.
This is a test of the NOAA weather radio system for residents living near the Harris nuclear plant. No action is required. This is only a test. This test is conducted in cooperation with Duke Energy, the state of North Carolina, the National Weather Service, and the counties of Chatham, Harnett, Lee, and Wake. This is only a test of the NOAA weather radio system. If this had been an actual emergency, you would have been instructed where to tune in for news and official information. Once again, this is a test of NOAA weather radio system for residents living near the Harris nuclear plant. No action is required. This is only a test. This test is conducted in cooperation with Duke Energy, the state of North Carolina, the National Weather Service, and the counties of Chatham, Harnett, Lee, and Wake. This is only a test of the NOAA weather radio system. If this had been an actual emergency, you would have been instructed where to tune in for news and official information. This concludes this test of the NOAA weather radio system. This has been a test of...
And then Santa Barbara. This one actually comes before San Diego. And KNX actually went here. There was no pre-roll. There was no verbal pre-roll. So I will just include the headers right then and there. Okay, I believe that was where the only changes made. Alright, and then this is the 21-minute screen recording we did, which included everything from earlier. Which includes basically everything, the Tampa test, and furthermore. Alright, so then we got the 5-minute clip and then the WCEI. And the WCEI test that happened just a few moments ago. And then this is the rest of it.
Turkey Point River. The National Weather Service in Mount Holly, New Jersey has moving southeast at 55 miles. Head miles. Lowest floor of a building. Sterling and high waves are expected. Virginia has been.
Okay, and that's the last one in the WCI. Okay, and that is that. So I'll go ahead now and send over the file, the Clipchamp document that has been exported successfully. Where is it showing up? There it is. Because I see the Explorer window coming up. Alright, let's share the file to the micro PC. One of them is Travel Micro, the other is the server. Travel Micro, yep. That's my micro PC. Let me wait for a request message to show up. Sometimes the micro does not like me. Yeah, it didn't even come up one bit, so that's why I got this flash drive here, so we'll do that instead. And, oh, I just heard a click. It was not from the flash drive. Alright, which one is about to go? Is it 6? 11. Alright. Who will be the next to go? Alright, and then we'll copy this to the transfer folder. Alright, and then I'll put in 11 right here. And then I'll add this to the reruns folder. Okay. And I'll go ahead and take it and go and remove that because it's transferred. And then I will go over here and move that to the new program showcase for Monday. That will air alongside the Street View video and everything else. Alright, and then I'll go ahead and toss the file. Alright, which signals the completion of that. That was the Verizon that we just got. Alright, so then I'll go ahead and close that up. Okay, Now that we're done with that, we're almost on top. Now we move on to the next stage of all this, which is to now go back on all of the NWS weeklies that some of these enthusiasts may have captured. That they may have captured throughout the course of the show. Of course, the battery died while I was away. There we go. I'm gonna leave it here at charge so we can finish up with Tom and Ben. Okay. Alright, here we go. Classic. Did it right after the Rip Current statement. And then Stormwire caught the Paducah evening test.
The radio's warning device actually built this evening test is conducted on the first Wednesday of each month between the hours of 6 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. When there is a threat of or existing severe weather, the test is postponed until the following Wednesday evening. Reception of this broadcast and the warning alarm will vary at any given location.
And then a weather scan emulator. And then Southern PA must have installed that new GWS app on his phone. He got. Yeah. And then this was of course, that was the weekly test stream from earlier. Yep, and this was the perspective of it from the iPad. So it looks like this next product is. So it looks like next week's test is going to be his 6,000th. Is going to be his 6,000th. Is going to be his. Actually, I think that Severe Thunderstorm Warning was actually his 6,000th alert. Or maybe it was not local and he didn't count it. I guess he didn't count it. Technically, it's 6,000. Yeah, DWES. Yeah, CAR, that's a new one. So, technically it would be 6,000, but not really. And it looks like a new build for the beta channel. So there's the dashboard. So I could turn that. So I mean, I could turn that Discover on or off if I don't want it. Swear that this one will install without a reboot.
So that's what's new. That was from October 31st. And I see Gwinnett EAS is finally catching up. This was from all the way back in 2022. So this was in November. This was November 16th. Of course, I don't know, all the Peachtree City transmitters there. And then I see Texas Gulf Coast got the Fort Worth evening test on 4 of the stations. Then you got Houston's test earlier this afternoon on Tombo Bay City, KWWJ, and KJY 78. And then here was St. Louis. This was St. Louis's test. And at the end of last week or the beginning of this week, KC63 in Detroit finally became wireless. So this was their this was the first weekly test since the transition to wireless. Since transitioning to wireless transmission. And then this was Environment. This was Environment Canada. And then this is the weekly that followed. And then Super Mario got the weekly, the evening test. They actually decided to use the morning message again? Come on, Wakefield. I know you can do better than that. And I see Landon got the San Antonio Austin test. He got it off for WXA 67 like I did, because WXA 27 was not working today. I don't know why. What's the lull the dog in the bed? So there was a dog barking in the background, but I don't think the dog was actually, I don't think the dog was visible on camera. Is the dog actually visible on camera? So it's just walking down the road. Wait, go back. Wait, go back. Okay, so I guess it did capture. So I guess the camera did capture the dog So I guess the camera did actually capture the dog mostly in the frame. So most of the dog was captured in the frame upon further inspection. So yeah, it looks like the dog was captured in the frame. And also caught a rooster twice. And I guess he stood by the dog, and I don't know if the dog liked the radio or something, I don't know. I, of course, gave out all the barkings it can. Sounds like yeah. I think that's a farm. I believe that's a farm that, I don't know why Landon's in San Antonio. Maybe he is, maybe he has like extended family there or something, but I don't know. And then he also showed the view of on the top of the Tower of America, of the Americas. Now, actually, before we continue, I know Texas is usually kind of warm around this time. So yeah, it looks like he's going to be enjoying highs in the 80s for a while. Just like in Florida. Like a taste of summer in November. What are the odds of that? And of course, Johnny Thunder got the Mount Holly test. And Thunder Buddy, of course, got his usual ones. You got New York. Along with the 2 high wind warnings this morning. And there's the New York test on KTR. Oh, that was one of the severe weather warnings from earlier tonight. And then Accurate got the Indianapolis test. And then here was Wilmington, North Carolina. Goodness gracious. Well, at least I see his WR100s are taking stuff again, which is good. And then this was Tampa's morning test. He looks like he hasn't posted the evening test yet. And then this is WBGR relaying the Wisconsin Monthly. Alright, finally we go over here. Mahoning County got the Cleveland Weekly on literally every single one of his radios, causing excessive noise. As the Southern PAWX also captured the flip on KESZ CXP got the Tampa evening test. Looks like he got it in the car again. And this is Tampa's morning test. Oh, and there's 14. Without me even looking. And Miami actually happened before Tampa. And then I see Tetris fan got my always test on KHB 38 Atlantic City and WXJ 94 Louis, Delaware. And SBC Carolina got the Sharon Harris test. Vol backwards QME. The Q, it's a backwards Q. It's a backwards Q. He was not expecting live voice. Well, I certainly expected it. Because they've been doing it for many years. And there was all that's from earlier. And TJEAS got the power plant test as well. Mahoney got Pittsburgh's test on WWG 53 out of Parker. As I said, TGEAS got the Sharon Harris test as well. As the Yoshi fan got all the Monday morning, some of the Monday morning tests. And I think that's it. And then finally, WLAT's Christmas ID. Alright, and that is what's this second channel sign off.
Reading this message, we are about to go to our final commercial break.
Channel after the channel gets relaunched tomorrow morning. Second, we wish you a most pleasant farewell, happy trails, channel, and good night. And God bless you all.
Oh yeah, this one.
Sega Channel now goes off the air forever. Why? This is the reason about it. Sega Corporation announced that Sega Channel will shut down tonight because it's starting to consider obsolete. Goodbye and farewell forever.
Yeah, this fictitious Sega Channel sign off.
Time Warner Cable is an affiliated with Time Warner Company. Our studios and offices are located in Brooklyn, New York, and Burbank, California. Thanks again for using us for the last 4 years of our service, which was so awesome. We hope that all the gamers know about this close-down. Now complete this video game service for good. Thank you, farewell, and see you never.
That's some corruption. Yeah, just sort of fictitious final broadcast of that. Okay, so there we go. We are caught up with everything. We've went back on whatever we needed to go back on. And now we are finally ready to use the remaining time that we have and do a little bit of another one of those eBay scavenger hunts. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Let's take a look at some tablets. What do we have here? A Fujitsu Stylistic Touch FSD Touch tablet, which is compatible with Windows 11. So yeah, 16 gigabytes of RAM. How much storage does it actually have? Well, we can actually go down and take a look at the full details. 512 gigabytes of storage. Is this thing actually connected to a cellular provider? No, it does not look like it is. So this is a iPad 7th generation. 32 gigabyte space gray, and this is a kids bundle. So it looks like it comes in some different colors and sticker kinds, screen protectors, and well, all kinds of stuff. Galaxy Tab S9 FE, 5th generation. That's a 5th generation from 2017. That's the one I have, which is not compatible anymore, which is such a shame. And then here's an M1 iPad Pro, also refurbished. 2018 iPad 6th generation, 32 gigabytes. Here's an 8th generation, also 32 gigabytes.
an iPad Air 2 in 16 gigs. Here's the 9th generation, which is what my father's school has, and this is the storage capacity, 64 gigabytes. It has. And then here's one of the more recent iPads. This is the M2 iPad Air with 128 gigabytes of storage, and you can choose your color. So yeah, there's purple, blue, and starlight. And then here's an 11th generation iPad with 120 gigs of storage. And of course, a few color choices. You got blue. Well, blue's your only choice, but yeah. That is the color I would go with if I were to get it. And then we have a TCL Tab 10 that is on Verizon. An iPad 10.2 8th generation. Wallboard, interesting. Let's see. And then here's the 4th generation iPad Air. One of the newest editions. This is with the A14. Is that even correct? Yeah, Apple A14 Bionic. So you can choose between 64 gigabytes and 256 gigabytes, or Wi-Fi and cellular connectivity. Yeah, that thing can't even do 5G, as much as I would have liked it to. And then we got some more 8th generations. That one's in silver. That one's in space gray. This is a Razer Edge 5G. Galaxy Tab A7, 32 gigabytes. A 10.9-inch iPad Air. That's an On 7 with 32 gigabytes of RAM and storage. A Tab FE S9 that is unlocked from a cellular carrier. And then 9th generation Wi-Fi only. That's the on-tablet Surf. There's an iPad Mini 4 on the highest storage capacity available, which is 128 gigabytes on iOS 15, I believe. The last version that it can support. I have never seen this one before. The Galaxy Tab Active. This is the Tab Active 4 Pro. I suppose maybe Samsung had a bit of inspiration from the Galaxy S Active series that they did. With the Galaxy S4, S5, S6, and S7. And I guess it was discontinued after the S8 Active. I guess that's why there wasn't an S8 Active or another active phone for that matter. And then here's the Tab. A Tab S2, 32 gigabytes Wi-Fi and cellular. There's an iPad Air 5th generation with the what are we on now? M3? It doesn't say if it's a Bionic. It doesn't say anything about a Bionic processor inside of it. Probably doesn't. Digiland. iPad, 9th gen. I think we can filter by what yeah, we could do refurbished, but type, condition, model. What's the I guess it can go all the way back to the 3rd generation iPad Air, but we can check the 5th generation iPad Pro. This is Wi-Fi only. This one's in silver. So then, so here's the Wi-Fi only iPad Pro 5th generation on iOS 18.7.1, and this is the 1 terabyte model, the maximum storage size that it can go. And then here's a more recent one. This has 256. Actually, I think this is 2024. Yeah, so this is iPad Pro, the 11-inch model from last year, featuring Apple's M4 chip. Well, nowadays the latest iPads have the M5 processor. Here's one that's still on iOS 18. This one is a 1 terabyte model in space gray. And this one's actually the biggest size of the iPad Pro line. 12.9 inch, 512 gigabytes of storage, and Wi-Fi space gray. So, yeah, iCloud Locked is, of course, the most important thing when it comes to buying, refurbished iPads. It's especially important because the iCloud lock is almost like a brick. Because I've seen stories of iCloud locks on these iPads. So some organizations, that used to use that kind of iPad, then they just give it away without even removing their iCloud credential information off the device, without taking the device off of their account, which then leads to a whole lot more of e-waste. I'd say with the end of Windows 10, how many more devices are being sent to e-waste. I think the end of Windows 10 is even worse than a lot of iCloud locked iPads and iPhones especially. Well, basically a lot of iCloud locked Apple devices. Yeah, that's a lot worse than some may think. We're not here for jewelry. We're here for tech. Get me back to the tech page, please. I just want any kind of laptop that we have. So basically, these are all refurbished. So all these laptops here are refurbished. So this is a Latitude $7420. And this one is a 7410 with a Core i5. But pretty much they all look the same. Here's a T14 with a touchscreen. 10th generation is of course compatible with Windows 11. Here's another Dell laptop PC. So you could go up to 4 terabytes. You could do 32 gigabytes of RAM. You could go with 15 inches, but this, so. So originally released in 2018, and then this is refurbished. So this was just refurbished. There's a Dell Chromebook. Of course, I expect crappy specs from those kinds of devices. Here's one of those MSI gaming laptops, 13th gen. Even this has that Copilot key that my PC does not have. Well, I'm saying the keyboard it came with. Here's an EliteBook 845. That's the Windows 11 logo, but that is not a Copilot key. Chromebook 3100. Here's an M1 MacBook Pro with the touch bar. I think I heard Apple stopped. I think I found out Apple stopped doing that. And then here's a Dell Touch. You can see there's the Copilot key where either the function or the control button would have been. Actually, that is the function key, but that's where a secondary control button would normally be. And then there's the battery report, and then there's other information, including disk management, and then Crystal Disk, and then the information on the processor and graphics card, integrated graphics, and all the other stuff there. This Dell Pro. Alright, now we have a Acer Aspire 14 Copilot PC. And I can tell plus AI, so that means it is a Copilot Plus machine. Well, that's great. I would love to get my hands on a Copilot Plus PC for, for a lot less than, what it is if you buy it from the manufacturer's website. Like with Dell, I've seen these Copilot Plus PCs can go over $1,000. It's quite crazy. Here's a refurbished 16-inch MacBook Pro from 2019. Yeah. Core i9, 64 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage. Is that like a gaming external graphics card? Probably. For $1,200 for that, yeah, that's quite an extreme price for for all that. And then a Dell laptop where you can choose your specs. You could do 32 gigabytes. You could do 1 terabyte. And since it's a Latitude laptop, we could put Windows 11 Pro on there if we so choose. So yeah, I could go ahead and put Windows 11 Pro on this thing. What I do is I just take the license key from that install of Windows Pro, and then just use that key, and then just keep that key on hand, and then wipe the factory install, and then wipe it and replace it with the installation from the factory. Well, I say not as from the factory, but rather from the from the factory, but as close to the factory install as possible. Here's a Panasonic. Here's one of the later generation Panasonic Toughbooks on Windows 10. But that key down there says Windows 7. So it's obvious that that machine is not compatible with Windows 11. There's a 300E Chromebook. And then we can go to the next page and we can see more. Here's an HP Pavilion X360. With a 10th generation i5 chip. And then we have a Dell Precision with a Core i5 11th generation. I'm going to say that's an early 11th generation model because that was when Windows 10 was still new and Microsoft was getting ready, was putting the finishing touches on Windows 11. Here's an X13 Gen 2 with an 11th generation i7 chip, part of the Evo series. So obviously that thing is compatible with the 11. That is a little too extreme. $25,000 for 2,000. I guess it makes sense. 2,000 pieces. So that's some extra RAM. Alright. I'm going ahead and resetting the station now. Alright, we have a little bit of time left here before we have to say goodbye. So we have a little bit of time left, so we'll finish it off here by looking at some final PCs. Here's a Dell 201 with an i7 10th generation. And we have a 7480 so that's what that looks like. There's a Dell Rugged PC that is compatible with 11. It is the 8th generation chip, 16 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigs of storage. And then we have the HP 15 in silver. That's the Windows 10. It looks like this machine is actually pretty good specs for the price. It is actually pretty good. New OS 2019. Dell Inspiron 5577 gaming laptop. Only 7th generation, so this cannot run Windows 11 natively. And then we have an A14. Yep, 13th Gen i5. There's the Windows 11 logo. So Windows 11 logo. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and throw these in here. And then we will get ready to wrap this up. And then we have a Surface 15-inch 11th generation that is that refurbished? Authorized reseller. Here's a Yoga Slim. That looks to be in its original box. It is a Copilot Plus PC. Here's a 17-inch. This actually looks almost like the one that saw on QVC over the weekend. Actually, I can go ahead and show you. I could go ahead and take this time and show you it, because I don't think I got to show you it too much. It was actually one of their today's special. So we'll just look by HP, and this actually, I believe, was the one. No, not the video. I don't need the video. I just need the device itself. So this one has pretty much some of the crappiest specs of any Windows PC that I can think of. 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and a Celeron. And of course, the little Copilot key. Here's a different color. This one is double the RAM and double the storage. Kind of like what my HP laptop had. It still has its 256 gigabytes of storage, but I doubled up on the RAM, so now it has 16 gigabytes as opposed to 8. However, with HP being HP, it's just taking 3 gigabytes of the memory for some reason. And then here's a 12th generation i3, 256 gigs of storage, and, well, you get the rest from there. And we'll just go ahead and acknowledge all of that. And with that, folks, that is it. That is all the time we pretty much have here for tonight. So we're going to get ready to wrap things up here and say goodnight. But before we actually do that, of course, Tom and Ben, thank you. Thank you, too, for being, of course, great members of our show. We always appreciate it when we have them with us, and we'll see them again next week. Yeah, on next week's show. And now it's time to get ready to say goodnight to all of you, our lovely viewers. So, of course, before we wrap this up, I would, of course, like to take this moment and thank all of our special guests who have joined us throughout the course of the show here today. Austin Vance was here earlier. Brian Slip was here. Andrew Durnock, of course. Yalk the Lembine. I'm a little disappointed Brandon couldn't join us tonight, but it's all right. And what is this? And of course, New Hampshire has to do their daily demo.
The New Hampshire State Police has activated the New Hampshire Emergency Alert System in order to conduct a practice demo. This concludes this test of the New Hampshire Emergency Alert System. The New Hampshire State Police has activated.
Alright, so then I will include that at the very end here. Well, actually, there's one more after that, so. Alright, now there are actually some stations that I have not seen test in quite a few weeks, so I'm going to give those stations one more chance. If we do not hear from them this week, then we're going to pull them off the monitors completely. Then they're going to get either we're going to get pulled off the monitors completely or we'll be monitored for the entire week, beginning next week, alongside all the other stations that I have on the list at the moment. Because I want to see. Because I want to see who's still streaming alerts and who isn't. But yeah, I was kind of surprised to learn that even after what is this graphic software? Is this brand new? I guess that might be brand new with this release or something. It could be. But yeah, the Max Audio Pro thing is not detecting the microphone even after. So I was thinking maybe the best solution would be to reinstall the graphics, the audio driver. So I was thinking I could try that. But yeah, I was thinking I'll actually do some, I'll probably do some more troubleshooting with the audio driver. I'll do some more troubleshooting with the audio driver tomorrow. I think that'd be a better idea because I want to make sure I get that removed noise. I want to make sure I get the noise cancellation working again before I even begin taping Ticket to Ride episodes. So, the new plan then is I'm going to begin production on Ticket to Ride on Friday instead. Because I have a lot of college work under my belt still. It's that one AWS lab that I couldn't start in time today, so. So I'll try and see if I can get through it here at home, and see if that makes a difference. I'll try it and see. That'll be the first thing I do, and then I'll take care of the last of the exams, and then I'll spend the rest of the day doing some troubleshooting with the audio driver. Just seeing if I can get it working, see if I can get that thing working again. I think reinstalling the audio driver might be the fix, so. However, so far it has been proven unsuccessful. So I don't know what it could be. It could be related to the live, to maybe some stuff using the audio driver, or maybe just removing it from Device Manager. Well, I'll give it a try tomorrow. I'll try those tomorrow, because we won't be live or anything. So yeah, that's all I'll do. I'll just take care of the rest of the college stuff tomorrow, and then I'll play around with the, see if I can get the audio driver working again, the remove noise function working, because that was because I did not expect 25H2 to break that kind of feature. So maybe was it working when I went? It was working when I updated to 24H2, but I didn't expect it to break going straight to 25H2. I probably should have went to 24H2 and then went to 25, but I favored stability more. But it is too late to go back now because I've already deleted 23H2 from the system. So maybe I could have just let it go to 24H2 and then wait for the 25H2 enablement package to come, and then maybe we wouldn't have had this issue. But I will try reinstalling the audio driver and see if that ends up correcting the fault. But I'm not going to try it tonight because it's too late. So I'll do it tomorrow instead, and I'll see if that. Yeah, I'll wait till tomorrow and I'll try it again, and I'll see if that makes a difference. And then, of course, tomorrow night we have our backyard baseball game, and then Friday will be our fun night show, and then Saturday should be all normal. We'll do a little bit of our games here and there. I think we'll do. Yeah, I believe we're going to do 2 rounds of our games, I believe. But then, of course, Friday I'll start production on Ticket to Ride and everything else in between. So, yeah, I did talk about the plans for the fall taping cycle and everything else furthermore.
Anyway, that is going to wrap things up here for us tonight. Again, thank you all so much for joining us here today for all of the weeklies. We were close to another perfect weekly test extravaganza here. We were very close to being perfect. Well, meaning every office testing until, until DC failed and Green Bay failed and a few from the Pacific time zone also failing. I don't know, maybe it could be because of marginal risk. I don't know. It could be, but I don't know 100% for sure. But we'll see. But of course, by rule, we'll have them in there tomorrow, and we'll see who ends up testing tonight. And then, of course, we'll see who ends up testing tomorrow. Who ends up making their test and whatnot. So we'll see how it goes from there. But anyway, until we see you again tomorrow for Backyard Baseball, I am tired. I have had a crazy night. I need to get all that nonsense out of my mind. So I'm going to let myself get that much needed rest so then I can be well rested to finish up any remaining college work for the week. And then I can enjoy my Thursday night the way I want to enjoy it. Oh yeah. And then, of course, Backyard Baseball tomorrow night, so. And that too. But anyway, until next time, from all of us here at Playing Field TV, thank you for watching, and we wish you all a wonderful good night.